Initially, we're going to start off with talking about our team development, and then going into our project itself, and then talking about our individualized development, because one of the important components about Gateway to Leadership is not only knowing how to develop projects and understand the process, but then also learning how to develop our own teams. How do we utilize our strengths to support each other through our teamwork, and then also developing our own individual selves.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and thank you for giving us the opportunity to present this very valuable presentation. My name is Reina Juarez, and I'm the General Studies Associate for the Dean. And I've been here, for 26 years and 41 days. I count every day and it's all worth it. And my strengths are responsibility, deliberative, discipline, learner, and analytical. Very analytical. I drive myself crazy, but it is what it is. And I'm on our team, I'm the team organizer. I try to do my best to organize the team and keep it going and stay on focus and just tell them what it is. Let's do it. Okay, let's move to the next one. Come on, let's catch up. So that's my role.
Okay, hi, my name is Giovanni Coloniano. I'm a student support specialist for the multicultural program, and I've been with Gateway for a year and 9 months. My strengths are achiever, learner, maximizer, intellectual input, and part of my role for the team was the conceptualizer and then also the data analyzer for the team.
All right, my name is Rachel Rolfe, and I am the Racine Campus Librarian. So all of us are on the Racine campus, which was definitely a plus, so that we didn't have some of the barriers of meeting. I've been here for 6 years, and my strengths are learner input, intellection, connectedness, and empathy. And my project role, surprising, is a researcher.
So our team name is Team Woohoo, even though none of us had woo as part of our strengths, but it stands for working on opportunities, having optimal outcomes. So one of the key components to building our team was to centralize identity to foster team bonding. One of the things that Rachel mentioned was that we all came from the Racine campus, but then also one of the team members that came before us talked about how they had the 2 males. We ended up being the team of women of color and Spanish speakers. So one of the things that we really focused on was our cultural differences and how do we develop and foster that. So we were learning a little bit of German from Rachel, and then she was learning some Spanish from us. So it was something that was really important for us to develop and foster that team development.
Again, we came up with our team development, and we discussed our strengths and our differences, and including our techniques. It helped us discuss our different techniques so that we could contribute to the project and end up with a great balanced team. For instance, we use our exploring our differences. Rachel is more of the motivator, she helped us connect each other and stay on top as well. Our styles, I have a very different style. I kept the presentation going, making sure it looks nice and pretty and so on. Jamari, she's very motivated. She's an idea person. She shared her knowledge, and she's extremely knowledgeable, and thank you for that. And empathy, both Jamari and Rachel showed me personally a lot of self-esteem and empathy, because as you can see, I'm very nervous, and it's not the high heels. It's my nervousness of speaking in front of you, especially, group. But they were very nice to me and motivated me and just say, you can do it. So I said, once the say it's over, my life will be okay. And I would rather just jump off a plane. I told Gatti, my boss, than do this. But here I am. It's the first time that I'm doing this, and it won't be the last one. So anyways, one of the worked on our strengths. We share a lot of information and learn from each other, and we respected each other when it came to having input for our presentation. Sometimes we did not agree, however, all of our information input was taken into consideration, and as a team, we chose the best idea for wording or a slide. So that helped approve.
All right, so now that we've introduced ourselves and kind of how we gelled as a team, let's talk about our, we're going to talk a bit more about our leadership skills here. So what I did was I wrote all of our strengths again and highlighted the common ones that we have in red. So you can see all of us have learner, which is not surprising since this is an academic institution. I would say 75% of employees here probably have learner as one of their strengths. It's my number one, and it's Jo Muddy's number two. So, and you can see that Jo Muddy and I are actually very similar. I'm thinking that we're maybe twins separated at birth because we both love professional development and keep taking classes. You know, can I get another degree? How many degrees can I get? You know, my name. But we, as you can see, we're pretty good with strategic thinking category here, relationship building, and then thanks to, I think, Jo Muddy and there's some executing staff, actually, no executing strengths. So this is the domain that we were missing some influencing. So what we had to do was rely on our other strengths, especially relationship building, to be able to influence others to the importance of our project. So that's kind of how we, filled in the gaps of what we were missing.
And as you can see from the slide, I don't have input. I wish I did. I really, really wish I did, because sometimes I have a lot to say and I don't say it. And that's one of my things that I need to work on. And because I always think, somebody just wants to say it, but why should I wait, right? So that's one of the strengths that I need to work on. And I'm glad that both Joey and Rachel, we both have that, and they helped me realize that, you should, say something. You just speak up, say what you're going to say.
I think of all the groups, we are the most common when it comes to strengths. So I think we have that extra barrier to go through to try to cover all the bases when working on the project.
And one of the key components for us was our relationship building, because we're able to utilize our own team members and people that we have relationships with within the college to also help us be able to produce our project after all.
Okay, here we go. Now I can talk about the project. We got our idea from Zena, thank you. She was our project sponsor, and it was basically to streamline and consolidate an online internal volunteer database that can do the following things. So we all know how many emails we get in our inbox every day. A lot of them are requests for volunteers for doing different gateway activities. So Zena was like, wouldn't it be great to have some type of database where people that are, event organizers can go log on, put in all their information, and then people that want to be volunteers can go in and see, well, what kind of opportunities are they? So this is more of a pull technology than a push technology, which we have right now. We just keep pushing emails out at everybody. This way, I have these strengths, I have these interests. I'm going to be able to log in and pull the information towards me. This would also allow people that are organizing events to maybe look at a list and pick out people that have certain strengths and target them to be volunteers for their projects. I learned from Gary the other day that those everybody emails go out to about 1,900 people. So we wanted to start targeting exactly who are, marketing to the people that we really want to be volunteering. And somebody told me we get 11,000 requests for volunteers a year. So we need to streamline this process somehow, and that's what the purpose of this project is, because in the end, since this is an internal gateway database, this isn't for community, for outside of Gateway, this is for the Gateway days, for the call nights, for everything that's happening inside of Gateway, it's for our students. We're trying to, it's our customer service for our students, and trying to make this easier for the people that are trying to organize the events. And we wanted to create it so that it would be a minimal cost to Gateway. We did look at some proprietary databases, and Madeline helped us with us. She showed us a database that was really cool, but doing it in-house thanks to Nathan, who I think had run off as soon as he logged in. We would have more control. He escaped. We would have more control over the product and be able to tailor it to what we need and what we want. Oops, sorry. Too fast.
So one of the areas that we really encountered right away when we were starting off the project
That's
was
Nathan, right
that, yes. And this is similar to the conversation we had with him actually, so that was kind of ironic. But one of the things about the project is the budget. So how much money do we have? None of us are coders, even though we have the love of learning, and then also having the gaps that we had in our strengths, you know, the influencing. But then also the software project that was happening. So it came out as almost like perfect timing for us, but because of the software development that was happening internally with Gateway, we had to wait out until that was done and then starting our project right away, February or so is when this product was developed. So we were able to, through our different relationships that we have on Gateway, we were able to finally be able to meet Nathan. And he was able to see our vision. We were able to sell him the why, the purpose, the reason behind this, because after all, it's about our students and to provide them an excellent customer service experience through each and every of the programs and services we offer.
And speaking of software, I needed to come up with a timeline, and I didn't know how to do that. So I happened to find some information about Project 2013. So I thought, well, you know what? I have to learn it. That's my learning strength. So I told the IT staff, within 15 minutes, I had it on my computer. So thank you to the IT staff. And I learned it, and this is
what it looks like. It looks
what
really
it
good.
looks like. So, yeah. So we came up with a timeline because obviously it is important to keep track of your project, and in this case our project, and focus on who we need to contact and you know how many times and for how often. And as you can see, every time we met with key people, we individually met. And what helped us is that, again, we work on the same campus, and now we're going to work closer because we just are on the corner from each other, so that worked out very well. And so as you can see, all of the times that we met, and that helped us keep the project focused and on time. So that was very, very important.
And one of the elements of how we were able to keep our process is that we kept a Google form that we were sharing with each other. So then we would keep our notes in there, our information, who we met with, data, everything was kept in this Google document. So it's really helped us in that process because we didn't, not knowing the product, not knowing what we were going to involve ourselves in, we needed to develop some sort of a process that was easy for us to understand, not being coders.
We met with our focus group, as you can see. We met with them, and the way we communicated with them was through obviously face-to-face, Google Docs, email, and our key stakeholders, Sina, Gary, Madeline, and Nathan. Thank you, everybody. Also, our internal focus group was Stacy, Gary, Michael, Donald, Josh, and Lydia Kisar. We met with them, and they gave us very, very valuable input as to what we have done at that moment and what we needed to do, and gave us some suggestions to move forward. So that was very important.
And as we continued with the product and the project, we're now then analyzing our leadership development within that. So even though we didn't really go into this perspective in the DDI, just doing some research as our learner selves, we came across this image here. And we really discussed that as a group to understand how we fit into this. And one of the three areas that I really found that was really interesting for us was the potential of leadership that we all have, especially leading within our own roles that we have at Gateway, the complexity of not only this project, but then also our backgrounds, our diversity, everything we have going on for ourselves, and then the ambiguity too as well. So not understanding the basically being okay with the unknown, what's going to happen with this, and understanding that further. And another thing that was really important for us as we were developing this project, and then also thinking about it from the perspective of servant leadership, because not only is the product supposed to be a way to have the staff that wants to be participating and volunteering in those activities, and then also from the perspective of customer service excellence for our students, but then also how do we participate in this ourselves? So we're thinking back to our servant leadership model. So Reina participated in one of the activities that was here locally, and then myself being in Peru and doing a service learning project out there. But then thinking about it from the area of commitment. How are we committing to our students through these initiatives that we have here at Gateway? Because after all, we talk about FTEs, we talk about how do we engage and keep our students. So thinking about it from that perspective of servant leadership. Another element about the product is we were thinking and throwing out some names for it. So we were thinking about how do we brand the product? What's our process for this? How do we conceptualize this to be able to sell it to our staff members? So that now instead of receiving all of these emails, it's now being housed in an area where maybe the intranet or some other device that's easily relatable for people to be able to get to. And thinking about that. So we thought about Pride, which is a product name that we're thinking about, or also calling it the Service Excellence Portal, to be able to sell this product and why the purpose is there for individuals to want to use this versus sending out the emails. So based on the data analysis that we received from the focus group and then going through that, we did it as a qualitative method and then looking at it as a thematic. So we're seeing what are the advantages and the challenges of this. As you can see, and that was something that was brought up by Rachel earlier, is the idea of streamlining, also the cost effectiveness of it because it's internal. Nathan shared with us that it was about $2,000 for him to build using his time versus having the specialists and doing the research and seeing that some of the products cost between $6,000 to $10,000 plus additional maintenance fees depending on FTEs. And then also being something that can be customizable. But then the challenges came about the idea of balance, and then thinking about the constraints and the purposes around that. Some people may request just having one volunteer come in for an activity versus hundreds of volunteers, so how would that look like in that process? And then shaping the message. How are we selling this value and its purpose behind it? And then also incorporating existing practices. So other individuals shared using Google Documents or spreadsheets to keep track of those volunteers, the roles, the duties, the shifts. How is that going to look in our product?
Okay, so let's actually look at our product. And that's why we had Nathan come up here and log in, because right now he is the only one, he's working on this, and this is all housed on the intranet that he was working on really hard, and now he's been able to focus a little more time on this project. But the idea is that when we log into the intranet, I don't know how many of you actually log into the intranet, you see your welcome page and your name, that there will be a place for a calendar that would look like this, that would have the different events that you could then click on, and that would tell you, how many people are needed, more information about each event. And if you are an event organizer, it would look more like this form where you could put a title for the event, what kind of event is it. So we sent him a lot of the emails that we were getting. So these are the different kinds of events, committees, for call nights, and this is how he came up with these various categories. You would be able to put the date, time, event location, and then this is where you put most of the information. This is just a prototype. Since we got the feedback from the focus group, we haven't had time to get back with Nathan to incorporate those ideas. So this is what the focus group looked at. This is a very long list of all the interests that we came up with, and we're still kind of working with how many. Maybe we don't need a list this long, but it is nice to know what people are interested in and wanting to do so that they can be matched up with the types of events that are going on. Perks, maybe you're going to hand out a t-shirt to whoever volunteers, strengths wanted, and then if you want to attach e-flyers. So this is from the event organizer's perspective, and this is from the person that wants to sign up. So when we sign into our intranet account, then this would be automatically populated with our information. And what we would do is, this is because, let me show you. If you click on an event, like, I don't know, Diversity Week, if you click from the calendar, then it's going to take you to this login screen where it already knows what event you're logging in for, and it populates with your information, and you can put any extra notes that you want to, and you would submit, and then the person organizing the event would then get an email or somehow be able to log in and look at all the people that have signed up for that event. So it's still very much in the prototype phase. There's a lot of bumps and corners that need to be kind of smoothed out. But this is what we've been working on, and you can see why we need Nathan so much. Because he created the product for us, we sent him some ideas and prototypes, and so forth. So,
And another feature of the prototype is that all the staff member and faculty are able to develop their own profiles based on their strengths. So administrators can go in and generate reports on people who are in specific domains and strengths that they want to add into their committees. And then also based on your interest level, when you log in into the intranet, in that landing page, 3 potential committee assignments or volunteer opportunities will be flagged right away for you to click on, customize based on your profile.
Also, you can choose like a campus that you want to volunteer, and the people that are going to ask for volunteers get, of course, limit the number of volunteers, but you don't want to have too many or too few, so, you'll be the person in charge of it.
a cap to how many. So all that is part of the tweaking that we will be meeting with Nathan and trying to incorporate into the next prototype. After that, then we'll be meeting with another focus group, hopefully a larger focus group, and then we'll make some more revisions and just keep working. I mean, you know the process. You evaluate it, work on it, you try it out, you evaluate it, whatever, until we can finally get to a real live call, where hopefully somebody in this room will be able to use the tool, use the product, whatever we call it, Pride, and do a call for volunteers. And we'll see how that first live event goes, and just keep improving it until hopefully we have a product that people feel comfortable using.
So last, we're going to talk about how we developed individually. So for me, Gateway to Leadership was very affirming. My background is in social services, so coming with that mind frame to Gateway, trying to shift it into now adult education and what that looks like. So it was very affirming for me, but it also provided me almost like a direction, an organizational direction now within Gateway campus. So I want to really develop that and foster that within the student population that I'm working with in the multicultural program.
For me, it's the leadership skills that I learned in this program will help me provide daily direction and communication to Gateway students and staff, and ensure that our division is run efficiently and within minimal supervision. And it's very true, because my boss, I see her maybe once or twice a week, and it's a challenge being in the office, but yet the work gets done, and it gets done very efficiently. And every time I see her, I say, well, see you when I see you. And we do say that every time we see each other, but it's working out. And having gone through this program has helped me a lot, even more through all these years. I personally want to thank the people that chose me for giving me this opportunity to grow, and to grow not just for myself, but the staff, students, and the college. I take very highly the respect that I have for the people that I work with and the college. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank my supervisor, Kathy House, for her believing in me and for giving me all that help that she does. And Tanya Burton for mentoring me. And now we have a very, very special relationship. And I just want to thank you for your time and meeting with me every month. So thank you.
And for me, I think what I took out of it builds on my relationship domain, that I have quite a few strengths in there. My thing was just meeting everybody, almost everybody in this room. I feel like I know better now. And just showing me that you really can lead for from anywhere. Getting to know other instructors, getting to know associates, getting to know, people that live on the fourth floor of the tech building. As well as everybody that came to present, and one of my favorite presentations was that budget presentation. I really think that needs to go on the road, that everybody sees it. So while we're doing our thank yous, I will just do along to our last slide then to thank everybody that has been a part of our project and part of our learning during these 9 months. Time to have a baby, and I feel like we're doing something, and we're working on